You've said, haven't you, that you would rather have an HIV diagnosis than, say, diabetes?
I have. It caused a bit of a stir, of course. When does anything I say not cause a bit of a stir, usually? But yeah, absolutely. And what I mean by that is these days, HIV is so manageable. You can expect to live a normal, healthy life. Type 2 diabetes, particularly, is a terrible disease. It's very difficult for managing. You know, it causes all sorts of problems.
Well, two of the panel, Coleen and Saira, have agreed that they would take the HIV test today, and this is all in the campaign is all in conjunction with the Terence Higgins Trust, and they have said today we applaud loose women for taking the HIV test live on air. Well, these two loose women. They say it's time to normalise the entire process, debunk the myths that surround HIV and stop stigmatising an entirely manageable health condition. So if you'd like to get the tests here...
Is that actually, in itself, that's almost the worst symptom, isn't it, the stigma?
Yeah.
That's the biggest killer.
And you started talking off about Charlie Sheen, and my goodness me, did we see some stigma coming back in the press about
Can
that.
I just ask you two both, how are you feeling about taking this live on air?
Nervous. But
Listen.
mainly because I'm a coward and I don't like needles.
Okay.
Nor do I, at all.
But I tell you what,
I
I was more, shocked about was when I told my family. And they went, oh, are you really? And I said, yeah. And they were going, oh, I don't think I could do that. It wasn't that it was live on air, it's the fact I was having an HIV test.
Saira?
I mean, I feel quite nervous, actually, but also I think I want to do this as a sort of just to show people that, you know, it's part of being responsible and it's your health, and just get it done. So, you know, I come from a kind of a culture where you don't talk about sex, you don't talk about anything, and people just don't know what you're supposed to do.
We've got about 30 seconds to
Right,
wait. Yes,
so
let's see what you actually do.
all it is, forgive me, a tiny little prick. Ready? I don't say that very often, but here it comes. Okay,
None of you, Joe.
Sorry, okay.
Nothing new there.
So it's the tiniest little drop of blood, and we just simply pop the end of this on. The blood sucked up that tiny little tube there.
Yeah.
And that's it. Have you got a tissue? Because you're going to need one.
Yes, we have.
Now, we talked a little
Let me
bit
say
before
that
the show, didn't we? We went through all your concerns, possible risks, and we're happy to go ahead with this, which we've done.
Yes.
You're going to hold on to that as well. I know. Tissues in one hand, that in the other.
And how often should you repeat once you've had an HIV test? So I had one about 4 years ago for a life insurance policy.
Yeah.
But how often should you repeat?
Do you know, it depends how many partners you've had, if there's anything you've been concerned about with your sexual activities, if you think you've put yourself at risk. If in doubt, have an HIV test. This is how easy it is.
And how long...
No, it didn't.
No,
You're
no.
a lovely doctor. Why can't we all be like you, Dr. Christian?
Do you want a tissue?
He's the only doctor I've got to see in the last year.
And Christian...
Thank you.
And when will we have the result?
So we will come back, I think, later on in the show. So the results actually will take about 5 minutes, but we'll talk to you about them
Like a
later.
pregnancy test,
Isn't it?
It's that simple.
OK, that's how... Hold on.
There's two blue lines on her.
OK, as we said on the show, Dr. Christian is back with their results. How are you feeling?
Great.
Yeah? You right?
Feel a bit nervous.
Yes,
I
of course.
don't really know what to expect,
We
but
won't
let's
keep you in
see.
suspense.
Make it sound like X Factor, goodness me. Look, beautiful, brilliant, lovely ladies, you're both absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Yeah. So, that's your little stick, that's your little stick. Lots of furor on Twitter about me not wearing gloves, by the way. That was a conscious decision. There was no way I could have done that in the time. I wanted to show this live on air to show how easy it is.
To talk about how easy it is, there's a test that you can pick up online or...
You can. I mean, you go to your GP, they should be able to do it. Go to a sexual health clinic, they should be able to do it. If that makes you nervous, you can order these sorts of things, and there are all sorts of different ones online that you can do at home. And charities like the Terence Higgins Trust this month are offering them for free for everyone, and you can apply online through them too.
What about if somebody, unfortunately, takes a test and they were HIV positive? People always talk about counselling. You'd need somebody with you. Do you think now, because people now, as we've talked about today, it's not a life sentence.
I think it's important not to underplay the significance of that. It is a big deal and it is a shock, and we know that. There will be instructions in all the tests. I always think, ideally, it's better to have someone there who can talk you through it, which is exactly what I would have done with you two. But actually, at the end of the day, it's just better to know, and if this gets people doing the test, that's good enough for me, and there will be numbers that you can ring and you can go and talk to specialist doctors afterwards.
Great. Well, we've had some comments here. Stephen, well done to loose women for breaking the stigma of HIV and the importance of knowing your status by getting tested regularly. And Billy, as someone living with HIV and a volunteer at 2 testing clinics a week, thank you for helping.
Brilliant.
And Christian, I'm presuming early detection is key for them to get the medication?
So the key message, I think, is the people these days who are probably spreading the HIV or who do less well are people who don't know they have it. So there is no reason not to get tested. It has no insurance implications. It has no implications for your work. All it has is good, positive, healthy implications. So just get tested.
OK, thank you.